Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, I will be discussing about Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. The first thing that we must know here is what do we mean by correlation? When we compute for the correlation, we are computing for the value of how strong is the relationship of one variable to another variable. So mean to say, sa madaling salita, pag sinabing correlation, kukumpute natin yung value na magsasabi kung gaano kataas yung relationship ng isang variable sa isang variable. We're talking about variables that are quantifiable or variables that are quantitative. Okay? So, meron tayong formula para mas madali nating malaman kung ano ba yung value ng correlation ng dalawang bagay. So, ito yung formula na gagamitin natin for this topic. Ito, medyo mukhang mahaba. Kailangan natin maintindihan to. It's R, meaning the value of the correlation or the correlation coefficient kung tawagin. That is R, denoted as R, equals, yung N is the number of samples. N, summation of x, y, minus summation of x times summation of y all over the square root of n times summation of x squared minus summation of x quantity squared. This is different from this one. Okay, kasi ang naka-parenthesis dito is summation of x. Dito wala. So, isa-summation mo lang, i-add mo lang lahat ng x squared natin. Mamaya, malalaman nyo yan. Times the whole quantity of n times summation of y squared minus summation of y, close and open parenthesis, or quantity squared. So, tabi mo natin yan dito. Okay yan. So, I have here one problem. Aalamin natin dito yung correlation coefficient and the significance of that correlation coefficient. Okay, so dalawa yung alam natin, the value of R and the significance, the test of significance using t-test. So, pag nakuha natin yung R natin, ilalagay natin siya sa t-test, hypothesis testing, para malaman natin kung may significance ba yung dalawa. So, example, the number of hours, so ito yung unang variable, number of hours that a student studies for a final examination is positively related to the score they will receive on the exam. So, dalawa yung variable natin. Yung una, yung number of hours, kung gaano katagal nag-aaral yung estudyante for the final exam or nagre-review. Then, the other variable, yung score naman. So, dito gustong malaman kung gaano kataas yung relationship ng oras na inilalaan mo sa pagre-review dun sa magiging score mo sa exam. So, oras at score ang variables natin. So, una natin gagawin dito is, alamin natin yung mga observations. So, ito yung table na gagamitin natin. So, pansinin nyo to. Meron ako ditong mga pangalan ng mga estudyante. We have here Lucky, Renz, RJ, Benz, Mon, Brian, and Jester. Tapos ito yung hours na inilaan nila sa pag-aaral. Lucky, spent 2 hours, 4 hours for Renz, 5, 7, 3, 1, 6. Then, the score of their exam na nakuha nila out of the final examination gamit itong mga oras na to. So, si Lucky na nag-spend ng 2 hours, nakakuha siya ng 58 na score sa exam niya. Then, si Renz nakakuha ng 32 out of 4 hours. Then, 5, 63. 7, 87. 3, 67. So, sa 1 hour, nakakuha naman ito ng 45. Then, ito, 6 hours, he got 68. So, ngayon, aalamin natin, class, yung value nito. So, itong mga to, given na yan. Ito ang hanap natin. XY, X squared, and Y squared. So, dito, we denoted this column as our X, the hours studied, or the spent hours. Then, yung exam score, yun yung magiging variable, Y natin. So, sunod natin gagawin is to complete the table. Sabi dito XY, we need to multiply X and Y. Ang X natin unang value ay 2. Then, yung Y natin unang value 58. So, 2 times 58 lang. Then, ito 4 times 32, 5 times 63, Ta-times mo lang yan para makuha mo yung mga values dito. So if you multiply them, the values that you will be getting from this given values are, ito na compute ko naman na kanina, so lalagay ko na lang 2 times 58 is 116. Okay? So next is 4 times 32. Meron tayong 128. Then meron din tayong, tignan nga patungan na natin, 315, 609, multiply 3 times 67 is 201, 45, and then 408. So yun yung mga values natin for the xy. We may now proceed with x squared. Yung x squared naman daw is you just have to raise the values here in x to 2. So gagawin yan 2 raised to 2, 4 raised to 2, 5 raised to 2, 7 raised to 2. It is also the same with 2 times 2, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 7 times 7. You just have to multiply the number 2 itself. Okay, so ito 2 raised to 2 is 4, 16, 25, then 49, 9, 1, and 36. So those are the values that we got for our x squared. For y squared, ito naman yung basehan natin. So what are the values? So lagay ka lang dito, 3, 58 times 58 or 58 squared. Ayan. Ito naman 32 squared, etc. So ang makukuha ang values ay 3364, 1024, 3969, 7569, 4489, then 2025, then 4624. So yun yung mga values natin. After natin makuha o makompleto yung table, ang sunod natin gagawin is to get the sum of each and every column na meron tayo. So dito, we need to get the summation of x. Okay? Summation of x to. Ito summation of y. Summation of xy. Summation of x squared. Then summation of y squared. So lagyan natin sa baba yung mga total nila. So pagka nakuha natin, i-add natin to 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 3 plus 1 plus 6. The total would be 28. Okay? So for the summation of y naman, the total would be 420. Summation of y. Summation of xy would be equal to 1822. 1822. Then summation of x squared, that is equal to 140. Next, summation of y squared, that is equal to 27,064. 27064. So yun yung mga values natin. Kasi yan yung mga gagamitin natin to compute for this formula, to get the R. So, compute natin. Gamit tayo nito. So, okay, iangat ko lang muna to. Okay, yan. So, sunod natin gagawin is to change the values that we have in here to our formula. Substitute the values to the formula. So, gawin natin ay, let's start with n. So, R muna pala. Lagyan natin yung R dito. R value tayo. N is, yung n class is the number of the sample. Kung ilan yung mga participants natin. So, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, n is equal to 7. Sila yung mga participants, the sample. So, lagay natin dito, 7. Okay, yan yung n natin. Then, summation of xy. The summation of xy, ito yun, no? Summation of xy. The total is 1822. So, lagay lang natin dito, 1822. Minus, Sundan na natin minus summation of x. Let's find out the value of summation of x. Summation of x, ito yun. Total ng x, 28. Lagay ko lang ng parenthesis dito for the summation of x. Summation of y naman yung katabi, 420. 420. Then tapos na tayo sa numerator. Let's proceed with the denominator. Ito medyo mahaba to. Okay. May bracket. Lagay tayo ng bracket. Then the n is again 7 yan. Summation of x squared. Nandito pa rin yan. Summation of x squared. Ito yun. 140. Lagay tayo ng parenthesis. 140. Then minus. Lagay tayo minus. Parenthesis natin. Summation of x. Okay? Hindi yan summation of x squared. Iba yan dito. Summation of x yung nasa loob. So, kung natin summation of x, 28. Then, parenthesis. Lagay tayo ng squared. Then, bracket. Then, another open bracket. Sundan na natin to. Yung n again, 7. Then, summation of y squared naman. Summation of y squared. Ito yun. Summation of y squared. So, lagay natin yan. 27064. Close parenthesis. Minus. Summation of y. Summation of y natin ay 420. Close parenthesis. Then, may squared ulit. Then, finally, the close bracket. So, yung mga values natin, ilalagay natin yan sa calculator. So, compute tayo ulit sa calculator natin. Let's start with the numerator. You proceed with this. 7 times 1822 minus 28 times 420. So, lagay tayo dito. So, compute lang natin to class. 7 times 1822. 12,754. Itong dalawang to ay may equal lang siya sa 12,754. Tapos itong dalawang to, multiply din natin, 28 times 420. That is equal to 11,760. Then, i-minus mo yung dalawang yan. So, minus natin, 12,754 minus yung 994. So, yun yung taas natin. Then, lagay natin yung square root dito. Sa dulo natin gagamitin yung square root. Ito muna tayo, yung unang bracket muna tayo. Okay, ang unang yung dapat gawin dito is, ito. Lagay sa calculator to, 7 times 140. Meron tayong sagot na 980. So, 980 to. Minus, ito 28 squared. Minus na natin yan dito. Didiretso ko na sa calculator. 28 squared. That is equal to... Okay, 28 squared is 784. So, minus natin yan 980 minus 784. 196. Itong bracket na to, meron siyang 196. Yan yung sa unang bracket. Then sa pangalawang bracket naman, lagyan natin to 7 times 27064. That is equal to 189,448. Then minus 420 squared. 176,400. Kasi minus natin yung dalawa. 189,448 minus answer. Pangalawang bracket is ito ay merong value na 13,048. Then we're not yet done. Kailangan nating i-solve to. 994 copy lang. Then ito multiply lang natin. Times 196. Multiply nyo itong dalawa. So, that is equal to square root, huwag kalimutan, 2,557,408. Then divide natin. Divide lang natin. 994 divided by square root neto. That is equal to 0.6215, then etc. So the final value of R, let's just get the two decimal places, 0.62. That is the value of R. Pero we're not yet done. We need to test the significance. Then we also have to identify or describe this value gamit yung table for the description or for the interpretation of this value. So meron tayong gagamitin na ganito. So dito, malalaman natin yung interpretation ng 0.62. Ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Is that very high correlation, moderate correlation, low correlation, and negligible correlation? So dito, 0.62, ilolocate lang natin siya dito. Ito, yung negligible ay 0.00 to 0.30. Or pwede rin naman 0.00 to negative or negative 0.30. Okay? So dito naman sa low positive, pagka sinabing low correlation, meron tayong 0.30 to 0.50 or negative 0.30 to negative 0.50. So, etc. So, ito ay 0.62. So, 0.6. Yan yun, 0.62. Makikita mo yan dito, between 0.50. Diyan siya makita, 0.50 to 0.70. So, ibig sabihin, yung correlation, since positive to, so, ang gagamitin nating interpretation ay moderate positive correlation. Kung negative yan, moderate negative correlation. So, the value R equals 0.62 is a moderate correlation. Okay, nasa bandang gitna lang siya. So, lagay lang natin dito. For summary natin, R is equal to 0.62. That means moderate positive correlation. Now, after getting 0.62, which is the R value or the correlation coefficient, we need to test the significance. Kasi nakalagay yan dito, class, test the significance of a correlation coefficient at alpha, this is alpha equals 0.05. So dito, gagamit tayo ng t-test. May value na tayo, 0.62. We need to undergo t-test. So, gamit tayo ng t-test. Ang t-test, meron tayong mga ilang steps. So, step 1 is for the formulation of hypothesis. Meron tayong tinatawag na null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. So, yun yung una yung gagawin. For the null hypothesis, gamit tayo ng population parameter. Yan ang symbol natin. Population parameter. So, una, lalagay nyo lagi equal 0. Pag ibig sabihin nito, there is no significance. Okay, there's no significance kapag null hypothesis. Kapag naman alternative, that is not equal, ang lalagay natin. Ang not equal, that means two tails. Okay, not equal ang lalagay natin. Ibig sabihin naman nito, there is significance. Okay, let me just repeat. Pag null hypothesis, there is no significant relationship. Ibig sabihin walang relasyon yung nakuha natin na values, 0.62, o yung dalawa, yung R's and yung exam score. Ibig sabihin wala silang relasyon. Yung alternative hypothesis naman, nagsasabi na there is a significant relationship. Ibig sabihin may relasyon yung dami ng oras na ginugugol mo para sa pagre-review sa magiging score mo sa exam. So, alin ba dyan yung kukunin nating hypothesis? Ito, hypothesis pa lang yan. We need to test the hypothesis using t-test. Step 2, ilalagay mo lang yung significance or the value of alpha. Okay? So, the alpha value is 0.05 or it is also equal to 5% level of significance. So, parehas lang yan. Sa step 3 natin, kailangan natin isolve yung value ng t. Meron tayong tinatawag na t value. So, sa step 3, so, lagay lang natin ito dito. Step 3 is for the t value. So, bukod sa r value natin, which is 0.62, may isa pang value na dapat tayong makuha, which is the t value. Ang t value mako-compute gamit ang formula na to. So, t value is equal to r square root of n minus 2 all over square root of 1 minus r squared. So, gamitin natin yan. So, t copy lang equals yung r natin, 0.62 square root of the n kanina, yung n na ginamit lang dito is 7. So, 7, kung ilan yung participants dito. Yan o, n is equal to 7. Then, minus 2. Over, ito na, square root of 1 minus r ulit, 0.62. Then, squared. Parenthesis, squared. Extend ko lang to. Then, compute natin yan sa calculator. This will be equal to, tignan natin. Ito muna, 0.62 times square root ng 7 minus 2, we all know that it's 5. So, square root of 5 na nalagay ko. The answer is 1.39. Okay? Over. Ito naman, square root ng 1 minus 0.62. 1 minus 0.62 squared. Square root ng 1 minus 0.62 squared. The answer is 0.78. Then, di-divide lang natin yung dalawa. Na-square root na natin. So, tinanggal ko na yung square root. This is equal to 1.39 divided by 0.78 is equal to 1.78. This is the t value. Then we're not yet done. We will compare this to the critical value. Okay, so step number 4 tayo. Magko-compare naman tayo ng critical value. So ngayon, hahanap naman tayo ng critical value gamit yung t-test table. Meron tayong gagamiting t-test table. So dito, ang gagawin nyo lang, t-value, absolute value yan, absolute value, it must be greater than to t-crit. When we say t-crit, it is the critical value. Ang critical value, malalaman mo yan gamit tong table naman na to. Okay? Sa table na to, malalaman mo kung ano yung critical value. Ito yung mga critical values natin. Okay, meron tayo dito mga values sa taas. Ang tawag naman dyan is the alpha level. Okay? The alpha level ay makikita natin sa problem. Sa problem na binigay sa atin, meron tayong alpha level na 0.05. So, ang 0.05, makikita nyo dito. Meron din isa dyan, 0.05. So, dalawa yung 0.05 nyo kasi yung isa dyan ay for one tail and the other one is for the two tails. Kapag nagko-correlate tayo, we often use the two tails. Kasi, ito yun, two tails, ito yung ginagamit natin, not equal. There are times na gumagamit tayo ng greater than or less than. Pag greater than or less than, one tail yun. Pero dito, gumamit tayo ng not equal kasi wala namang binanggit dito kung greater than or less than. Okay, so automatically gagamit tayo ng not equal, and not equal means we need to use two tails. So ito, two tails, then dun tayo titingin ng alpha level or ng itong value na to, 0.05, so lagay ko lang dito. So 0.05, ito yon. Then meron ditong DF. When we say DF, it is the degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom. Ang degrees of freedom, may formula yan. That is equal to n minus 2. Always. So yung n natin ay 7, right? So 7 ang ginamit natin kanina, so it will become 7 minus 2. So 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. So degrees of freedom natin ay 5. Ito yung gagamitin natin, 5. 5 tsaka tong 0.05 ng 2 tails, ipag-meet mo lang sila. So the value is this. 2.571. So yun yung gagawin natin critical value. So the critical value is, lagyan natin t value natin na nakuha kanina. So the critical value, the t value kanina ay 1.78. Okay, take note, pag sinabing absolute value, ibig sabihin kailangan laging positive. Kung ang lumabas dito ay negative, ilalagay mo dito positive pa rin kasi may absolute value tayo. Then greater than t crit. So critical value natin na ito, nakuha na sa table, 2.571. So alamin natin kung yan ba ay true or false. Okay? Okay, 1.78 is greater than 2.571. So is that true or false? So alam natin si 1.78 ay less than. Eh nakalagay dito great. Itong laging symbol na ginagamit natin to test. Greater than. Okay, hindi yan nagbabago, laging greater than yan. Kasi yung dapat ang assumption natin, lagi dapat greater than yung t-value. Since ang nakuha nating value ay 1.78, tapos nakalagay dito greater than 2.571, ang sagot dito ay false. Pag sinabing false class, ang ilalagay mo ay do not reject the null. Hypothesis. Again, since false ang sagot natin, lalagay mo do not reject the null hypothesis. Kapag nagkataon na mas malaki yung value dito kaysa dito, so ang sagot mo ay true. Kapag true ang sagot mo, ilalagay mo naman reject the null. Hindi do not. So dito i-reject mo yung null. Reject the null hypothesis. So ang sagot nandito ay false. So ito yung magiging conclusion natin. False. Kasi 1.78 is less than, hindi greater than 2.571. So ang sagot natin ay do not reject the null hypothesis. What is our null hypothesis? Ito yon. Ito ang null hypothesis natin. HO is the population parameter is equal to 0, mean to say there is no significant relationship. So ibig sabihin, ang sabi nila, do not reject the null. So ang kukunin mo, si null hypothesis, ito yung magiging conclusion natin. Okay? For step number 5, conclusion tayo. Conclusion. So since ang naging sagot natin ay false, we will not reject the null hypothesis. Our null hypothesis is this. Population equals, or population parameter equals 0. Mean to say there is no significance. So lagay lang natin dito, there is no significant relationship. Doon sa, ano yung dalawang walang relasyon daw? There is no significant relationship doon sa dalawang variables. Yung unang variable, yung number of hours, yung x, tsaka yung pangalawang variable natin ay yung scores sa exam, yung y. So yung dalawang daw yan ay walang relasyon kasi ang lumabas natin sa conclusion ay there is no significant relationship gamit ang t-test hypothesis testing. So ganun ginagawa yung correlation plus yung test of significance o yung tinatawag nating t-test. So I hope that you learned something from this video. Don't forget to Subscribe to keep you more updated on my next video. Thank you.